oh, there's some shenanigans. Go, oh, yeah, I know what this deck is. It's the Railway Brawler one where you get, like, copy Railway Brawler a bunch of times and then annihilate your opponent, I think. No,
Yep.
that's a different deck. No, it is this one. There we go. Devastating Onslaught. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be sick. Up against is a Cauldron.
Yeah, is it Cauldron? So nothing, too sensational on the bottom side of the screen here. But in addition to the decks, I want to talk about the players. Something that I've been just floored with, really impressed, is that we have elite players from all over the world under one roof here for the Spotlight Series event. So, a lot of these big tournaments in the United States that you and I have the opportunity to cover, they're regional championships, right? Which means you get the best players from your corner of the United States or whatever it might be to come battle it out. But here, the Spotlight Series is open to anyone. There's not that many opportunities across the world. So already we've seen Riku Kumagai, one of the best players from Japan, Willie Adel, Hall of Famer from Brazil, Daniel Fournier is from Canada, our feature match player last round. So people from all corners of the globe showing up to battle today. And Riku Kumagai is a player. I've played against him on the Pro Tour. I'm very impressed by him. This is a player who knows his stuff, and he's 3-0 with the best deck in the format. Certainly a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've been a big fan of Riku Kumagai. I can't remember which event it was, but it was an online event during the COVID era. He bought a mono black deck in a field of, it was either Golgari Sacrifice or something, and he just absolutely crushed it. Such a great sportsman as well, being willing to say, yeah, you know what, we've gone to turns, whatever, to his opponent, but you definitely are in the driving seat here, so please take the win, and then off to top 8 he went. So yeah, such a great sportsman and an excellent ambassador for the game.
Easy to root for.
Hell yeah, we love that in a Magic player. Apologies for my 60s diner waitress impersonation here, friends. Just coming off of Daycare Drip. Those of you with toddlers will know the struggle. As we see our fear of missing out, hanging out. Lenorel's got there. This Teamer Battle Crier. Versions of this deck are so much fun to play. When you talk about things that can stand up to the Is a Cauldron deck, I think this one is one of them, because you get to cast spells for much cheaper. If you get a bunch of 4-powered things on your board and you have okay, not in this deck specifically, but like colorless cards, they're free. You can just play them for free.
Yeah, so I hope we get to see the Battle Crier deck in full swing.
Yeah.
Because once it's able to assemble a little bit of a battlefield, as you mentioned, Teamer Battle Crier with the right support, or perhaps even multiple copies of it, can enable this deck to transform from okay, this is a monsters deck trying to play a single big creature and attack, to suddenly this is a combo deck playing a ton of stuff on the same turn and possibly killing the opponent all in one shot.
Marvin Chung played a Teamer Ferocious deck in the Arena Championship, the most recent one, and got to the top 8. He was the only non-VV deck in the top 8. The deck is so much fun. It can do some disgusting things if you've got the right combination of stuff out. One of the key cards is the Outcast, a Trailblazer. So Haotian Wang is definitely going to be looking for that.
The downside is a game like this, where if you can't get much traction on the battlefield, you're playing one spell per turn against the Is It Cauldron player who's generating tons of VV mana and just burying you. Yeah. So I think I'm almost ready to call this one and say, Haotian, let's try again next game.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough matchup for 70% of the room. As this is, the S-tier deck here this weekend, as now Riku Kumagai gonna get swinging. Just checking a couple things before Going to damage, doing the untap. We have Delirium. So getting that damage in there. And second attack will untap the other friend.
So 3 combats here.
Yeah, not too bad. And there goes your life total. Okay, game 2, let's go. Oh boy, all right. Let's see what's in the sideboard here for our Teamer Battle Crier player. We need some annuls, I would imagine.
So, Ailey, I'm kind of glad we got to show that off at least once, even though we're definitely rooting for good, close games, and we're rooting for these players who have brought, the interesting decks to try to contest Is It Cauldron. But I want everyone at home to know, like, that is the payoff. Yeah. If you just show up and you're playing Is It Cauldron, you're playing the really, really strong deck that, is a head and shoulders above the field. The payoff is that every once in a while you're going to get a game like that.
Yeah.
Like, look, my deck is just totally busted. I'm going to do my thing, bury you, and Riku is already up a game at 3-0 in 6 minutes off the clock. You get a freebie once in a while.
Yeah.
Now, let's hope the next 2 games are close and competitive, and whichever player wins the match, great. But in a tournament, 15 rounds, best of 3, everyone's trying their hardest to beat you. If you can get a freebie like that once in a while, that's really adds up. I really value that quality in a deck choice.
Absolutely. Friends, if you want to get some of the latest Magic sets, including Final Fantasy, if you have missed the release of this, where have you been? This set is the most popular, most successful, and all-round pretty darn cool Final Fantasy set. Go check it out at starcitygames.com, MTG-Fin. Get your chocobos and see if you get lucky. Maybe you can crack a golden chocobo in one of those collector boosties. Have you cracked a golden chocobo, Reed Duke?
I'm not the proud owner of a golden chocobo.
How cool would it be, though, right?
Would be great.
Oh, it'd be lovely. Only 77 of them in the world. It's fun to see people opening them and being like, hey, I found this number on Reddit. So kudos to people who have done so. Game 2 underway here. Almost as our players consult their sideboards one last time. Let's see where we go here.
So game 1 in a matchup like this is just going to be really explosive. Both decks hoping to just do their thing, get out in front, and bury the opponent. After sideboarding, they likely become a lot more scrappy, where the players are going to be trying to tailor their reactive suite of interaction in order to neutralize the opponent's combo and keep it from snowballing like it did in game number 1. Especially the player who's on the draw, who in this case is going to be Riku, is going to be, I think, well served by looking at removal spells, maybe a well-placed counter, and let's make sure that the Teamer Battle Crier deck can't get that critical mass.
Yeah. While our players are shuffling up here, we can take a quick look at another one of our feature matches. Got some cool new tech here this weekend.
Hey, this is the red deck that we're excited about.
Yeah, there's the Needlehead. There goes the Needlehead. John Howder up against Ivan Espinoza. Mono red aggro and Is It Cauldron doing battle over at table C.
It's a big marauding Mako.
Oh yeah, that guy's huge. Is there 3 of them? Yeah.
At varying degrees of huge.
Varying degrees of hugeness. Oh man. And and there's, is that a VV underneath the cauldron? I think so. Is it the fancy art version? I think so.
Okay, so just this one more time, we're going to showcase the Is It Cauldron deck doing its thing, comboing off, burying the opponent. After this, we're going to start showing close competitive games.
We can hope, as you mentioned. Oh,
Interestingly, Ivan has a blue-red dual land, so we talked about sort of the category, the archetype of red-based aggro has opened up with the exit of Heartfire Hero and Monstrous Rage.
Yeah.
So I love seeing people's take. It's like, okay, we're going to have some burn spells, we're going to have the Hired Claw, we're going to have aggressive creatures. What else? You know, what's your theme? What's your second splash color if you choose to do that? And in Ivan's case, he has some blue mana.
Yeah. See a blue adventure card in the bin there.
That's the Scalding Viper, something to that effect. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Enters and dings for 1 or something along those lines. So yeah, like I said, thousands of cards in Standard. Go dig on Scryfall and try to find something that works. I was messing around with weapons manufacturing and sacrifice stuff.
No kidding.
It's so fun. It's like, well, if you make massive creatures, I'm just going to try and ding it to death. It didn't do very well, but it was still fun, so... Jeez, that is a crazy board. John just maximizing on all the things that he could possibly do here. Gets a Prophetic Memory down. What would you like to make more huge? Oh my. Now you just need a VV on the board to start doing some dinging, yeah? Let's go Winter Night Stories in the yard, I'm guessing. But at this point, do you even need it? Just turn things sideways and die, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the red deck, too, is like, if you're at 13, you have all these massive creatures on the battlefield. The red deck is not a combo deck, so you can kind of just win the old-fashioned way by valuing, attacking over the course of a couple turns, and hopefully there's not some kind of flurry of scary dragons and burn spells that punish you for that.
Yeah. You know, if you took VV and Cauldron out of this deck, it would still be pretty fun to play, because it's just like aggressive creatures go.
It resembles the old style Oculus decks a lot, where you have the same like I'm going to fill my graveyard, get some powerful blue and red card filtering, and just amass a big board.
Yeah. So game 1 going pretty convincingly to Is It Cauldron in our other backup, or our other feature matches, I should say. As our main feature match here, players shuffling up. They got time to kill, you know. They took 6 minutes to do that first game, so.
Yeah, more time doing sideboarding, shuffling, and mulligans than the entire the entirety of the gameplay of game 1.
That is almost very true, yeah.
This looks to me like Haotian is on the play and has kept 7 cards against Riku, who has mulligans, so this will be the game with the greatest advantage for the Teamer Battlecryer player.
I hope we get to see this deck pop off, because it is really, really cool. You know, turn 1 Llanowar Elf, hope it sticks. Turn 2 Trailblazer, Outcast or Trailblazer, I always get those two mixed up. Or Teamer Battlecryer if you're lucky. And work towards getting Roller Brawler down. Then, with all your discounts, you make a bunch of the Roller Brawler. You make a massive, because every time a creature enters, it doubles their power. And then they have haste, so it's kind of like the old World Spine Worm combo, just a little bit more complicated. Players underway here. No Llanowar Elves. Sadness goes in the stack as Fear of Missing Out hits the board. And leaves. Goodbye.
Yeah, not quite hitting the board there. A null is going to be a big card of the weekend, as that is just a really, really effective measure against the Cauldron deck. It counters any of Agatha's Soul Cauldron, Fear of Missing Out, and Prophetic Memory.
Yeah. It's such a good answer, and I think it's the third most played card from Edge of Eternities. So we see Esper Origins now, gain some life, surveil some stuff into the yard.
Can we remind people what are some of the other highly played cards from Edge of Eternities? Quantum Riddler is one we've seen.
Sure. The Shocklands.
The Shocklands. Yeah, those have to be high up in the rankings.
Yeah.
Consult the Star Charts was a big player of our last feature match.
And the -2, -10.
Tragic Trajectory.
That's the one, yeah. That's also one of the biggest ones. So, some real bangers from Edge of Eternities. Doc Orlock, yes, Riku. I had to read him too, because I haven't seen this card since Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Spells you cast from your graveyard or from exile cost 2 less to cast. Plotting cards from your hand cost 2 less. Now, did you know that? I can stop being a cowboy. He's grizzled and a genius, evidently.
I love this because this is not one of the most played cards. This is not a new card from Edge of Eternities. This is just an old sleeper. You kind of outlined it in a previous conversation, like, don't forget about these cards, right?
Yeah.
It's a huge standard format. If you can find a diamond in the rough like old Doc Orlock, you might get paid off.
So being able to plot outcast a Trailblazer for 1 mana instead of 3, that's pretty big. Also, finding the Winter Night Stories, Harmonize, getting reduced, that's pretty sweet as well. Oh, hi, Vivi. Vivi's on the board. Up against Doc Orlock. What does Riku have? Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Okay. So nothing, no Vivi in the bin just yet, and it's not going to stick around either, is this Soul Cauldron, as it is annulled. So Annulled doing some good work here for Haotian Wang. Ooh. I was going to say, we're escaping. No, we're not escaping it. Esper Origin being played from the yard, and it comes back as a 4/4. So another sweet little addition to these 4 powers matters decks.
So that's a really effective use of Doc Orlock's passive ability. Spells from your graveyard cost 2 less.
Yeah. 2 mana to get a 4/4 on the board.
The Esper Modwin.
What'd you call me? Summon. Cool art on the back too. I dig it.
Yeah, Esper Modwin, if you want a little
Lord.
flavor Easter egg, is
Please.
the father of Terra, who's sort of like the protagonist of Final Fantasy VI.
Sweet. I like Terra. Her card is very cool. I know she has a bunch, but the one that puts things in the bin and then lets you reanimate, I really like that one. So a couple chapters go in here, able to give like an overrun effect on chapter 3. A couple more creatures on the board here would be ideal for our teamer player. Riku, on the other hand, nothing really popping off just yet.
No, but untapping with Vivi is certainly a promising start.
Yeah.
Can make for a big turn. We'll note Riku has been a little bit annoyed by his lands here. Only 1 source of red, and it's starting town, so taking a few extra pain. But hopefully the difference between 18 and 20 won't really be the deciding factor in this game, as both of these decks are quite explosive and tend to do damage in big chunks.
Excellent choice of basics, I will say, Riku. Some of my favorites. He's chucking a couple lands, though, but does find a basic mountain. Hi, Patrick. And Prophecy Eidetic Memory. He has to ding himself anyway. It's the board here. And woo boy, Vivi's going to be ginormous. All right, are we popping off? We got some stuff?
Now, I want to point out a cool play there.
Yeah.
If I saw correctly, Riku purposely elected to discard 2 cards to Winter Night Stories, even though he could have just discarded only Fear of Missing Out.
Yeah.
Now, why would you do that? The reason is it can be to your benefit to empty your hand quickly if you want to draw extra cards off of Quantum Riddler.
Nice. Also, not have to discard anything off of a fear of missing out if you draw that.
Can we show Winter Night Stories on the screen?
So, big ol' VV getting in there. There's a Quantum Riddler, like you mentioned.
Yeah, there you see Winter Night Stories.
Nice.
You can discard a creature card and get full value, but you do have the option to discard 2 if you want.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm just like so impressed by Riku here. Seeing that option to discard the extra land, the foresight of, okay, 4 moves later, I'm going to deploy a Quantum Riddler, and I'm going to want to upgrade my hand by drawing 2 cards off fear of missing out. Just like this is an elite player here. This is really impressive stuff.
Ooh. Hello. Okay. Finds another Soul Cauldron. Has a bunch of big idiots on the board here.
Yeah, you'll note that from the turn that we said, oh, Riku's, he's behind here. He has just these 4 lands, not even a second source of red mana. He went from that to not warping, but hard casting Quantum Riddler, drawing 1,000,000 cards, fear of missing out, Profts, Winter Night Stories 2 times. Like, this is just, yeah. This is what the Is It Cauldron deck can do.
More mana than he could spend. Got a couple lands, a little unlucky off the Winter Night Stories there from the yard. Did find another Agatha Soul Cauldron though, so if Vivi does get dead, the creatures that remain on board will be able to get its ability. Now we're doing some math here. So 2 extra green off of the summon. Maduin, is that how you say it?
That's what I say.
Okay. I'm sure chat will correct us. I've chosen a name for her. Terra. Woo! Battle Crier. Let's do stuff. Come on. All right. So we have 2 discount. So things are 2 cheaper. There is a Outcaster. What the heck is your name? I get this wrong all the time. It confuses me. Outcaster Trailblazer. There we go. So we're going to be drawing some cards now, if anything can be cast here. I really do love the versions with Roaming Throne, because that would essentially be free now. It's like, woohoo! Bonk. Name human. Draw 2 cards. Play another one. Draw 4 cards.
Okay, what's this devastating onslaught?
Are we doing it?
This is going to generate token copies.
Trailblazer, right? Just fill your hand?
And generate more mana.
Yeah.
So with the cost reduction of Temur Battlecrier, Devastating Onslaught is going to create token copies of Outcaster Trailblazer and actually net mana.
Nice. Sick. And then hopefully something really cool drawn in hand here for Haotian Wang. Whoa, this is cool. This card is very sweet. I think we're going to see this a lot more.
And this is drawing 9 cards.
Gross. Why aren't the VV decks playing this? Look at all that mana you got. X is your friend, man.
That would be nice. It would be nice.
Just make a bunch of the Riddlers or even the Fear of Missing Outs. Oh, that'd be so gross. Extra combats. Yucky. No, but really, why aren't they playing it? Adapt to this, you bug-eyed planet squatters. Nice. Yeah, look at him. He's just like, whew, okay, that resolved.
So which busted combo deck can have the more busted combo turn?
Let's find out. Oh, man. We haven't gone to combat yet, right?
Correct.
No.
Still in the first main phase. And I believe Haotian gets to add 3 mana to his mana pool from these token creatures entering the battlefield.
Any color. So, red, green, or blue from the Outcaster Trailblazer. There we go. Keeping track there with our cards.
2 green, 1 red, plus the cost reduction. Everything is
Free.
basically colorless. Mana
Yeah,
costs are trivial at this point.
There we go. Railway Brawler. This card is the one you're looking for. So 4 more cards drawn off of him entering. Now we're looking for another creature to enter. Or we're looking for another onslaught.
Yeah, that would be the killing blow, because it's reduced in cost so much from the Teamer Battlecryer. Now the creatures are going to be enormous because of the Railway Brawler, and they do have haste.
Yeah.
So right now there's, I think the Esper Modwin and the hasted token creatures can attack. That's not enough to kill Riku Kumagai, but basically any more haste body is, I think, going to be enough.
Yeah. I don't think he found it. I saw a head shake there, which is sad because this would be GG at this point if there was an over.
There are 4
Onslaught.
copies of Devastating Onslaught in the main deck. We don't know if some got trimmed after sideboarding. That's something that I think it would be common practice.
Yeah. Pity. What's that though? 4, 8, 12, 16. That's enough, right? 4, 8, 12. Only those? Ah, poo. Everything came in on this turn.
Yeah, so instead he's going to wisely pivot to, okay, let me, if I can't win this turn, let me take as much material off of Riku's side of the battlefield as possible. And, I mean, we can shortcut that if Haotian gets another turn with all those freshly drawn cards, these 6 lands on the battlefield, he's going to win. So now it becomes Riku's task. Can you rebuild from very little, no VV on the battlefield, no Cauldron on the battlefield.
Land that hurts.
Can you make a winning position?
Sheesh. Almost. So close to seeing fireworks there for Teamer Battlecryer. Again, such cool cards. I'm glad that we're seeing so many different approaches to Standard here this weekend. As we see Steam Core Scholar hit the board, we're going to draw some cards, put some counters on something at our combat step. Wang rightfully getting rid of the double attacking friend in fear of missing out. Because I don't think, does the Railway Brawler have reach? It does. Okay, so there is a blocker at least for this Riddler. VV in the yard. And Cauldron.
All right. So now the Cauldron is going to grant VV's ability to 1 creature. The Proph's Eidetic Memory is going to add counters to another creature, which that's good enough. That's the way Agatha Soul Cauldron works, is you don't have to add the counter specifically from the Cauldron's ability. Any creature with a counter for any reason will do the trick.
It's not like a cooking counter or anything like that. It's just a good old 1/1.
Cooking counters would be cool, though.
Cooking counters would be, it's what you have in a kitchen, isn't it? Just counters. Much mana being made here. What are we using it for, Riku? So this is from the dragon before combat. Can we remove this Railway Brawler? Do we want to? I don't know. Got any card draw? Refill the hand here a little bit? Okay.
This is warped.
Nice. Looks like he's got a couple lands in hand. I know he drew 2 off of the last Winter Night Stories. So a lot of discard fodder. Not much gas. And after a blitz lightning fast, game 1, game 2 has taken almost 25 minutes? 20 minutes? Another Steam Core Scholar. Okay, cool, cool. Let's draw some more. Ooh, was that Broadside Barrage and another FOMO?
So I guess part of the plan here is to, as you said, remove the reach blocker, put as many counters on the existing Quantum Riddler as possible from Prof's eidetic memory. But again, like when the Is It Cauldron deck is forced to win all in one turn, it can be tricky because the decks are not necessarily optimized for that. There's like, for example, Riku has 1 Wild Ride, 2 Tersa Light Shatters as haste creatures.
Yeah.
You can, of course, start triggering Vivi if you cast it from your hand. But there's not a lot of ways to deal 19 damage starting from such a small battlefield that Riku started this turn with.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine if that Fear of Missing Out survived that turn?
Yeah. Now, if you got multiple combat steps,
Yeah.
now we're talking.
Yeah. That survives the turn, gets to attack, targets the Riddler. Riddler gets all the counters the first time. Second combat, trigger again from Profts. That's another massive attack in the air, so... Shoo-wee. And yeah, only 1 red mana currently.
Oh, this card he's
shocking.
discarding is Wild Ride. So that can produce another hasted attacker, but only if he chooses to use it before combat here.
Yeah. It looks like we're moving to combat. Giving it to the Scholar. Okay. I think he's going to sit tight here. Oh, no. Okay. That one just came in. The Riddler can go crazy.
Yeah, so the Riddler can attack. The important thing about adding the counters to the Steam Core Scholar is not an attacker for this turn, but another way to post-combat generate mana from Vivi's ability.
Yeah.
And or Riku's kind of posturing the same way that Haotian was last turn, where it's like, hey, look, I gave it a shot. I tried to win this turn. I don't think I'm going to be able to, so now let's focus on general value in the game, perhaps producing some big blockers, whatever I can do to try to, improve my position if I do have to pass the turn.
Nice. All right, Broadside Barrage takes out the Brawler in case of another onslaught. What else we got in hand? There was another Braid I saw. Cycling the Mako. Too late for you, little guy. A Braid in the Crier. Great. Okay. And Fear Missing Out. So, yeah, I think that's the best that Riku could do, and I think that's going to be enough.
Love that. Emptying the hand, playing Fear of Missing Out, drawing 3 from the existing Quantum Riddler, the warped Quantum Riddler.
Gross. That's so good. Good card is good. Who'd have thunk it? Team of Battle Crier backup, hits the board, draws a card off of the Outcast Trailblazer. Riku's at 5. Can we scrounge a victory out here and get through these massive blockers that Riku's got?
Haotian reached for the Esper Origins Graveyard. However, Doc Orlock's not around anymore to reduce the cost of that.
It's expensive, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little pricey.
It's got in hand there in a null. Looks like a Winter Night story. Still plenty of time for both these decks to ensure one of these players goes with a victory and remain undefeated here. Starting off 3-0 or 4-0 soon is an excellent way to kick off this Spotlight series.
I love this game because every turn that passes, things just completely shift. Where it's like, oh, well, definitely Haotian is dead based on looking at the board. But then after like these super explosive turns where they just make these enormous battlefields, kill each other's stuff, it's hard to parse like who's winning on the battlefield versus just whose turn it is and the person who's about to do something crazy.
Magic is a pretty cool game. Big thanks here for Haotian. He's got the discount, so he's got 2 off of whatever he wants to do right now. Courtesy of the Trailblazer. Oh, Surak. Hey, bud. That's another card draw, another discount, so it's now 3. We like discounts. Just keeping the new guys to the side so you don't get confused as to who's got summy tummies and who is good to go. Now I think the Esper is free. Oh, well, free as can be. 1 mana to get the summon back from the yard, so another 4/4. 4 discounts. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3 blockers. Can we make enough attackers here to win? If
So
he finds the onslaught?
If there's if there's devastating onslaught, reduced in mana by 4, so you could make 2 copies of Outcaster Trailblazer, draw, as many cards as you want, and make 2 more mana. I think it would require multiple devastating summons because, look, Riku did do a good job producing blockers. He's only at 5 life, but he has 3 blockers, including one of them that's a 7/7 flying vigilance.
Yeah, that's a bit tricky. Like, we did see some cheap removal, so maybe a combination of the onslaught plus then a removal spell off of the mana generated by the Trailblazers would get him there. Did we find both? Does he have a Wild Ride? Is he playing Wild Ride? I don't think so. No. Ooh, another Hellkite would be sweet. Warp that in for 1 mana. Boing! That's the other hasty thing on top of the onslaught that would be necessary. Shake of the head tells me he doesn't have it, so that is gonna be... Oh, it was on top! No! Don't look! Don't ever look! Are you a looker? Do you look?
Sometimes.
Don't look!
I have to confess.
Don't look! It's just gonna make you sad. Ah, man, that's rough. Would have been cool to see. I hope that we see Haotian later on.